State Republicans are licking their wounds after a less than impressive election day for them. They lost the race for governor and lieutenant governor.
Meanwhile, the race for attorney general remains in limbo, and we'll have more on that in a minute. But back to the bigger picture. Whatever Republicans are doing in Virginia, it wasn't fully in working order this time around. After the results came in last night, Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling issued this statement, read in part, "As a Republican, I am deeply disappointed that our party has lost control of our state's top 2 elected offices. There are clear lessons in these losses for the Republican Party." So what are these lessons? I talked to a political analyst and a former Reagan White House aide today.
Though I'm obviously disappointed by tonight's outcome.
Time for introspection.
Well, Anita, one thing the party has learned is that we don't win every election.
Gary Byler is the chairman of the 2nd District Republican Committee and a lifelong Republican activist. He says while they're excited about the possibility still of one win on the ticket, clearly 1 out of 3 wasn't the outcome they'd hoped they'd have.
Number one, I think it says when the party stands united behind our candidates, we win. Period.
And he says had the party as a whole stood behind Ken Cuccinelli, they would have likely had a statewide sweep. But in hindsight, was that an option with the candidates they had?
It was Cuccinelli. Cuccinelli was the issue in this campaign. It was not McAuliffe. It wasn't anything else. It was Ken Cuccinelli. He was the issue.
Joel Rubin told me aside from being outspent, the ticket the Republican Party put forward was ultimately one of the biggest issues they faced.
You had a lieutenant governor candidate who never held office before. You had a gubernatorial candidate who was so identified with the Tea Party and the religious conservatives.
They just didn't appeal to the middle.
Cuccinelli was a punching bag for McAuliffe. All the stuff that he had done as Attorney General had freaked out a lot of people.
Particularly women and those who blame the Tea Party for the government shutdown. But he says it's not something for the Republican Party to overthink. Looking at the map from the last gubernatorial election, it's mainly red. And he says Virginia will likely remain a Republican state. But losing the top spots should make you sit up and take notice.
Hopefully we'll learn that lesson moving forward and not alter our message, but make sure that we stay unified.
Now, on a bright note for their party, all of the Republican delegates and senators in Virginia Beach, for instance, won easily yesterday. And Cuccinelli won Virginia Beach despite Mayor Sessom's endorsement for Terry McAuliffe. Neither party can really celebrate or sulk for long. Between now and January, special elections to replace senators will determine majority control.